Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Last of Us Episode 7 review titled Left Behind. This was an okay episode. Kind of boring, not great, had some problems with it, we'll get to it, but a lot of good moments. Anyways, you know how Last of Us episode goes. We get, the intro and everything. And, there's only 2 episodes left, by the way. And one thing I have to say is this episode needed more action. I'm just gonna bring it out there. This episode needed more infected, more action, more Joel, and yeah. So, anyways, we pick up after last episode where Ellie is in some random house. She's trying to take care of Joel because Joel has been, injured from last week. Remember, he got stabbed by a random hunter raider. And they're hiding out in this house. We actually see the horse. I don't remember his name, but I just love how he brushes the snow off of himself, like, ugh, cold. It's a cool detail. I like it. And, Joel tells Ellie to go, leave him behind, go to Tommy, this and that. But obviously Ellie is not going to listen. And we see Ellie going upstairs. She looks back at Joel, and then she turns the door. And then we cut to the flashback. So here we see the flashback of Ellie before episode 1, before she got bitten and all that stuff. And, she's running around in the gym. And, at her, I guess, school in the quarantine zone in Boston, right, I believe. And, she has the Walkman on. I'm not sure how the teacher is, letting that. I don't know how if that's against the rules or anything. I don't know. It's just kind of interesting. But she has to Walkman and girls are running. Which, by the way, all I see are girls running. I'm not sure what that's about. Is it because the writers think that women are superior to men? Because they are not. Anyway, some random girl just pulls Ellie's Walkman off her ears. And we get to meet Bethany. And Bethany is just this weird, she's like that popular girl. I'm Bethany, I'm more popular than you, Ellie. I'm taller than you, I'm more good looking and this and that, I'm more athletic. But I'm gonna pick on you for no reason. Your friend is no longer here because now I can kick your butt because I'm 90 pounds and, you're 70 and Riley's 130 and, all this stuff. And, even though you're not worth my time, I'm gonna waste my time bullying you. Because I'm a stuck-up girl in, 2023. So I guess that's it. And, she's just she doesn't think Ellie's going to fight back. I'm not sure what the heck the PE teacher is doing. I don't see a teacher. Ellie's even I don't want to fight about this and that. And she wants her Walkman back. You know what I mean? And, Ellie kind of gets mad. All the other girls are just running around. And, Bethany forgot one crucial thing. Anyways, afterwards, Ellie is in trouble. She has a black eye. And, we find out that, she's in the principal's office or something or whatever. I mean, I don't know. She's looking at a photo of some girls. So maybe it's the guy's daughters. And we get to meet a new character, Captain Kwong, I believe. And he's a FETRA officer, but he's also the principal. Not sure how that works. But anyway, he sits down with Ellie. And he kind of mentions her behavior. He kind of mentions how Bethany got 15 stitches, where it's okay. It's seriously, you're telling me Ellie messed her up that bad? Man, she really was a prissy pants, wasn't she? But, he just mentions to Ellie that she can't be doing this with her behavior. And Ellie's even just put me in the hole. I don't care. Which I seriously wonder what the hole is in FETRA. You know what I mean? Because Ellie is a minor and all that. But she's basically the guy, Kwong, is basically listen, Ellie, you can't keep doing this. You're going to become a grunt and all this. But I see potential in you. You can become an officer or something one day. But, and he puts 2 paths in front of Ellie. There's option 1, be a grunt, or option 2, live better if you have a better attitude. And Ellie chooses option 2. And later that day we see Ellie in her room. She is reading some comic books, very roughly, I might add. It's the Starlight thing, Star Wars comics or whatever it is in their world. The space comic. And I don't understand. Like I said, I don't understand how that is not how people read comics. You don't flip through the pages like that, without reading them and this and that. And you don't toss them to the to the nightstand, not caring about them. I'm sorry. That's not how comics work. Anyone who owns a comic does not toss them like that. But yeah, some random person comes through the window and grabs Ellie's mouth. I knew it was Riley, the second, and Ellie pushes Riley off of her, and because Riley wasn't in her, she hasn't been seen in like 3 weeks, and then Ellie is just kind of mad. She's like, "What the heck were you doing? You scared me," and this and that, and so Riley kind of mentions how she was gone for 3 weeks, and she mentions that she tells Ellie how she became a Firefly, and Ellie is beyond like angry at Riley and this and that. She's just like, I have training, we have to kill Fireflies, and at first she thought it was a joke, but and all this stuff, and yeah, she even I don't remember if it was, yeah, it comes later, but anyway, she's like, so yeah, Riley tells about how she is a Firefly, she joined up with them, and Ellie is just there's this disagreement between them, and they go outside because she wants to show Ellie something. She even says, like, I know you're gonna say no, but you're gonna say yes. So they go in this random alleyway, and I just want to put, and they say the patrols are not gonna bother them. They're fetch or stupid, but they almost get caught by a patrol Humvee and all that. So that was a close call, and Riley asks about Ellie's eye, and Ellie's like, I gave Bethany 15 stitches, and we get this like Carol reference where they're like, screw Carol and this and that, and they're both saying it, which come on, that has to be a diss on TV Carol, like it's gotta be, like, come on, that is a reference to the Walking Dead main show. And they go up the stairs. I like this funny scene where she's like, oh, there's only 2 floors, and they get 7 floors, and they're tired, and they're like, man, you were lying. And this, so anyway, after that, they find this dead body in this hallway. This guy overdosed on pills and alcohol from before the apocalypse. It was made before, and so they take the alcohol, which comes to play later, and Riley's drinking a little bit, Ellie is too, and the guy's body actually falls through the floor, which is just kind of crazy. So anyways, Ellie asks if she can, hold Riley's gun, just hold it for a little bit. And she does after a little bit. And, it's funny how Ellie's just like, it's heavy and this and that. It's just, yeah, see, that's how guns are when a child's holding them. Not like in The Walking Dead with Judith, where she's just holding a Colt Python, no problem. But yeah, Riley kind of mentions how she was in the hole, and, for Ellie. And well, I think she was into at some point, and she's just like, she joined Fireflies because she wants to fight for freedom. But Ellie's kind of like, well, why don't we fight for freedom for freedom on the inside? Why don't we join Fetra so we can change it? Which is kind of a cool dynamic, and I like this parkouring that they're doing. It's it's pretty cool. And like I said, there's kind of this philosophy where Riley thinks that Fireflies are the right, and Ellie thinks that kind of Fetra is. And to be fair, I think both have their pros and cons. But it's kind of tricky, like, what I mean? Like, Fetra, Fetra sucks, but not everyone in Fetra is bad. Not everyone of them is evil. Not everyone in the Firefly Firefly organization is evil. You know what I mean? It's just, it just depends. So still talking, they go inside this mall through this, hole and stuff. And Riley tells Ellie to wait. I like the conversation where she's like, are you going to murder me here? This is a good place to murder me. And, just, I don't know, the chemistry was really funny. And, Ellie comes across this empty mall, like this, it's all dirty and stuff. It's, it's abandoned, it's dark. And then all of a sudden, Riley turns on the lights, and Ellie is just kind of blown away. And to be fair, I was too. The colors and everything are super cool. And, Ellie's just kind of blown away by it, like Riley. She mentions how the military kind of reinstalled power and for more apartments, and that caused the mall to get some power, so that's cool. And I like the scene with Ellie in the escalator. She's going up and down, she's like gliding, she's jumping. This is a real life thing that kids would do born in the apocalypse, because one of the things I can't stand in The Walking Dead is characters, when you have Judith not ask about the world before, when Judith is not interested in things from before the apocalypse, that annoys me so much in The Walking Dead. So seeing this in The Last of Us is so good because it's realistic. We also get the Dawn of the Wolf, which is like a Twilight parody, movie poster in the background, which is kind of cool. That's from the game. I like that. And we get to see a lot of things. We get to see Target, Macy's, like real life stores in our world in the mall, which I really like. I'm glad they didn't go with fake stores and all that. But yeah, Ellie and Riley are just like looking around. They're looking at some women lingerie, and they're just kind of like, this is stupid, like, and they're joking around, having some fun. And yeah, I kind of get it. It makes sense. And I kind of wish they did the joke from the game where Ellie's like, why are women so skinny back then? And it's because they chose to starve themselves. But yeah, I like the, conversations. The chemistry between Riley and Ellie was really good. The actresses did a really good job what they were given, and we get the scene from the DLC where Riley activates the carousel, and Ellie's just blown away. She sees the lights, the horses, and all that. So she gets on top of the horse, and yeah, like Ellie definitely like she gets to experience the carousel from the first time. And actually, unlike the game DLC, Riley actually stays a little bit on the carousel, and they're talking back and forth and all that stuff. And because like obviously she's with the Fireflies, so it's a bit of an issue, you know what I mean, with Ellie just not. She still is kind of mad at Riley for like leaving her for 3 weeks and all that, but she mentions how she came back for her. She was the one thing she wanted to come back to. So Ellie's like, okay, it makes me feel a little better, kind of thing. And then we see, she's like, hey, there's another wonder in the mall, and we see a photo of Ticket Booth, which was also from the game, the DLC. And this was kind of cool. So Ellie and Riley decide to take a bunch of. Also, it was kind of cool how they decided to take pictures, but the thing needs money, you know what I mean? But Riley came prepared, so it's kind of interesting because I don't think in the game, I think that was an issue with the game. They didn't really address that, but yeah, it's kind of cool. This old technology from the world before still works, because like in Last of Us it didn't, and they kind of get their pictures, but not really, because the quality of the photos are blurred. But some of this, it's still kind of like seeable a little bit. And Ellie sees another wonder, and it's the arcade. And I love how Ellie's just like, she's like in tears, like not really, but her voice is like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's just, that is so what a kid would say. You see a lot of arcade, just with games and everything, and Ellie's just looking through the games. I like how one of the games said, this is an emergency broadcast, and I'm like, oh whoa, are they going to mention the apocalypse? But no, they said emergency broadcast, Martians have invaded Earth. It's like, oh, okay, that was a funny twist. Like, and Ellie's like, she wants to play a race game, and she's like, oh, we need money. And Riley pulls a bunch of coins and stuff, which, oh my goodness, I love this. It gives me such Stranger Things vibes. I love this. I really do. This is such a cool moment with these characters. And then we get them playing Mortal Kombat. Now, in the actual game, it was this other game that I don't remember what his title, but there was an Angel Knives character. I believe the Last of Us game, the first game, they couldn't get the rights for Mortal Kombat, which I didn't like. But in this version they did, and I approve, because this actually makes their world feel more realistic to our world. And they're playing matches here and there, Ellie and Riley. And Ellie's losing a little bit, but she's getting a little bit better. They're playing back and forth, and they're just having a lot of fun. It's funny, they're spending all their quarters on the same game, and we kind of see that the mall pans over. And I thought maybe this is when the zombies would attack, but we see this random zombie, infected, and he kind of hears Ellie and Riley, laughing and talking and stuff. And yeah, Ellie is just, she's having a lot of fun. They kind of used up pretty much all their quarters. I guess they've been playing for hours, and Ellie is just like, I kind of have to go. And she's like, but I can come back tomorrow, and stuff. But Riley's just like, wait, I have something else to show you. And I thought it was going to be another wonder, but it turns out it wasn't. And she actually gives Ellie the second volume of the pun intended or not intended book. So Ellie reads it, and she was like, oh, what did the cannibal do? And she was like, oh, he threw up his hands. And it's like, okay, that's kind of funny. And there was also a screenshot joke where they're like, wait, what screenshots? With the computer getting drunk. It's like, what does that mean? And they're like, I don't know. It's like, that was funny too. But things take a turn for the worse, because Ellie kind of sees some bombs and stuff, and she's just thinking like, wait a minute, like, this is like a Firefly thing, isn't it? And Riley kind of reveals that it is, and she says she's leaving, that she will never see her again because she's going to Atlanta. But it's like, wait, why are the Fireflies going to Atlanta? Why would you send somebody in Boston to Atlanta? I don't know. It's kind of weird. Riley's a recruit. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But Ellie got kind of mad, and she's walking away. She's leaving the mall, and Ellie hears screaming. She hears, and I thought it was Riley screaming too, because I didn't really hear the zombie, but I heard screaming from her. And yeah, Ellie is running back, and all of a sudden this Halloween decoration spooks her, and to be fair, it kind of spooked me too. And Riley is just a little bit upset, so Ellie sits down, she takes the book, and they just kind of sit down to talk, kind of address things. And Ellie and Riley just kind of reveal how she does have to go, but this was a nice night they had. And they kind of bring up that they're best friends and this and that. They are going to miss each other. And Riley decides to do one more thing, the last wonder, and they kind of combined it. They put on their Halloween masks from the game, and they dance on the countertop. Now, this was in the DLC, it was just them dancing, and then they did the mask thing separate. They also did like a water gun fight separate, but they took those out a little bit. But yeah, they're dancing on the glass, and I'm just like, while music is playing, and I thought like the glass might break. I'm like, okay. But yeah, we get a moment where Ellie is asking Riley to just not go. They're having fun again, and she tells Riley to not go. And then we get the moment where I don't remember how it worked in DLC, but Ellie flat out just kisses Riley on the lips. She kisses her, just impulse, and Riley wasn't against it. But then they hear something. They hear a zombie. They hear infected. So Riley pulls out her gun, and yeah, and then they see an infected. They see a zombie, and Riley shoots it several times, and it's not dead. It's so weird. This was a strong zombie. In the game, it was like a whole herd of zombies after Riley and Ellie. And it even knocks Riley out and Ellie down like with a shelf. And I'm just like, man, this one zombie is giving them so much trouble. Like, this is where I kind of had some negatives. Like, one zombie should not be this difficult. I'm sorry, because in the game, like, they did so much better. Like, I don't know. It's just weird in my personal opinion. So yeah, Ellie is, stabbing the zombie. Riley was getting like attacked, and Ellie, stabs it in the face. This zombie was like unkillable. I mean, they shot it a bunch of times, crushed it with shelves, tripped it, like stabbed it. She stabbed it a bunch of times, but now it's finally dead. And it's just kind of crazy that this one zombie. How did anyone survive the beginning of the apocalypse when even this one zombie is so dangerous? Like, what I mean? But Ellie is just kind of like, just glad they're alive. But then she sees that she was bitten, and oh man, like what? The actress for Ellie, Bella Ramsey, did such a good job, and so did the actress for Riley. This was good. I wasn't sure about Riley's actress at first because because they made Riley kind of tomboyish, and she seems more like a big girl and stuff, and I wasn't sure that she could have portrayed the scenes well, but she did actually, which surprised me. And then in the present we have Joel. He's still sick. He's still dying and all that. And by the way, they took away the thing from the DLC where Ellie is in a mall looking for a first aid kit, the whole helicopter thing. Instead, Ellie is just looking around the kitchen. She's just pulling, shelves and stuff to get any supplies, needle, whatever. But in my personal opinion, it doesn't work. And then we have Ellie, having a temper tantrum. She's smashing glass, freaking out. To be fair, this is like the game, except in the DLC, she was destroying pots and stuff that they got. They went to another store when they were running from the zombies, which I kind of preferred that more, but still. Anyways, Ellie sits down, and Riley kind of mentions their situation. She says there's only two options they can do now. That's a bit. One is they kill themselves. They go out on their own terms, but she says she doesn't like that idea because she's scared. And she says option two is they just wait, however time they have left. And Riley's even like, we can be poetic about it, nice about it. Spend every second we have left. And but I will give it to the two actresses. They did such a good job with the game dialogue and the scenes, and just they really did a good job here, I will admit. And then we have in the present where Ellie is holding on to Joel. She's like, just live, Joel. She's stitching him up and all that. And I'm sorry, but it just doesn't work, because in the game, when Joel got hit with the rebar, he was knocked out. Ellie literally went through, hell. She went to a mall, fought zombies. She fought hunters. She got a first aid kit from a helicopter and almost crashed and died from that. But in the game, she just finds a dirty needle. And I'm sorry, but that's not how it works. You just can't do that. Like, you can't just take a dirty needle that's not designed for stitching someone up and just do it. I'm sorry. I get that maybe they were on a time crunch, but come on, they could have trimmed a little bit from this episode, extended a little bit. You know what I mean? And she's, patching Joel up from a stab wound, and Ellie is just, I mean, honestly, it's a miracle that she's doing this, that Joel is not going to die from an infection or something from this dirty needle and stuff. But yeah, and then that's it. That's the end of the episode. So yeah, guys, what did I think about this episode? This episode was better than episode 3 of this season, but honestly, in my opinion, this was very boring, and I wanted more infected guys. I wanted more zombies. I wanted more action. And I get it. We can't have action every single episode, but this episode was devoted to a flashback that just, showed how Ellie got bit. But in my personal opinion, I feel like it should have focused more, at least a little bit more, on Joel, Ellie trying to save Joel's life. I definitely feel like that should have had a little bit more presence in this episode. And yeah, there's only 2 episodes left, guys. You know what I mean? Like, we've only seen a few zombies in The Last of Us. We saw them in episode 2, we saw them in episode 5, and then, they weren't in 6, they were barely just 1 zombie in 7. You know what I mean? It's just, like, it's, the actors and actresses are doing a good job, and the writing is very on point, but how they're doing a lot of these episodes doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for my review. If you liked it, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and tell all your friends about it, please. Yes. Thank you. So yeah, guys, that's going to be it for my review. I will see you all next time. Take care. Bye.